to get a loan, right? But what we want to do is enforce and bring along an institution where we're teaching entrepreneurialism. So we're working on that right now. But I think that we should be able to learn that at a younger age. We should learn how to handle money at a younger age.
Yes.
We should learn how credit works at a younger age. These are the things that should be taught instead of a lot of stuff that we're being taught in school. Like a lot of that stuff is useless, like in real life.
Absolutely.
You know, so
and then we get older and mess up all our credit, and then we try to go backwards and learn it. Yeah.
Right.
Like I was telling my husband, like as far as credit cards and stuff, like you can get a credit card, that's cool, but just use it on things you need. Like use it to spend it on gas, and then put the money you was gonna use for gas and put it up.
Right.
Like use 30% of the card, don't max the card out.
Most people don't know that.
Yeah, like just little stuff like that, and he'd be like, huh?
Right.
Yeah, if it's a $200 card, spend about 50, 60 bucks and just leave it.
I wish I had known
Don't
that.
touch it.
I got my first credit card. It said $350 limit. But I went and spent $350.
Like making somebody an authorized user. I didn't know that an authorized user meant
they can use it.
That she'll get her own card. I'm just thinking I can give you my card and you can use it, but they sent her own card, and then I was stuck with the bill. Nobody told me that.
I remember that. Yeah, look, no one told me at the end of the month you get a bill. I'm sitting there like,
So what did you? Never mind. We'll talk.
what did I do?
No, what did you think? Like, how did you not know that you were gonna have to pay?
Because I'm gonna tell you what. See, like this, how they got me, right? You know,
They
like this how the white man got Cali Bo.
Here you go.
This how the white man got Cali Bo. So, you know what I'm saying? Cali Bo was walking through the quad in college and everything else, and a lady came up to Cali Bo and said, "Hey, would you like to get a credit card?" Cali Bo said, "Hey, look here, man. I don't have a job to get a credit card." She said, "Cali Bo, you don't need a job. All you need to do is say that your income comes from your parents, about $200 a month." I was like, you know what? I don't get that, but I can easily write that. And I wrote that down. I get $250 from my mama, right? No, I don't get that. So the credit card came. When the credit card came, I said, oh, okay, let me see how this works, because you know what I'm saying? I got the credit card that said call to activate. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard card activate, I said, oh, spending. And the first thing I went and bought, and this lets you know I was not thinking. I went straight to JCPenney's. So I didn't even go to the flea market or a little mom and pop store. I went straight to the mall. And I bought a pair of all black FUBU boots.
Really?
Yes. All black FUBU boots out of JCPenney. So you do know at that point in time, they was up there in price
JC
because
used to be the spot.
Right, like you look, you can't get FUBU nowhere else but the flea market and JCPenney. You know, that's two places you can get it at. and it was authentic when it came to JCPenney, and I walked in and they had them on display, and I was like, that's what I need right there. Knowing daggone well, I didn't need that because I had a pair of black Timberlands. So think about it, I had Timberlands, but I just want some FUBU.
Spending money.
When they then swiped it, when they said, oh, it's good, I'm thinking like, wait, hold on. And then I realized that I can go to the ATM too. So I realized about going to the ATM. So I'm doing all that.
In the cash advance.
And then not only that, it was around Christmas time, and when my mama found out that I had got credit cards, then it was, let's use this money, let's get some Christmas presents. This is what I'm thinking.
But you didn't
With
have
no
a
job.
$350 limit, bro.
I got 2 of them.
Oh,
It was a MasterCard and a Visa.
You ever think about that? That's predatory lending, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So,
come in our school like that.
But they know you're gonna mess your credit.
Right.
And they do, and what they did to us,
And
I
he
didn't
straight
even
up
fall
told the
for it.
girl that he
Right.
didn't have a job.
She's like, no, just tell them this.
Right, and I got 2
Get
credit
your
cards.
You
bonus.
know, I just got an attitude because that is definitely what that is.
And the
That's
second one,
crazy. I never knew that.
and the second one got maxed out on Christmas presents because I'm sitting there thinking, as you know what I'm saying, like us as men, we have an opportunity to just go ahead and provide like
For the family.
a Christmas for the family. So imagine I'm buying Dreamcasts, clothes for my nephew, my mama, everybody off these 2 credit cards. I'm feeling good.
Well, I got nothing to say to them. I got nothing to say to them, you know what I'm saying? But for those who are looking to blaze a trail, I will tell you, you have to be relentless in your pursuit. Don't nothing come easy. Ain't nobody coming to save you. And you got to put yourself, I remember being in the studio with Bone Crusher. Oh, that was another one. But I remember being in the studio with Bone Crusher. We had our artist Dub City in the studio, and he said, man, I'm listening to these raps, man, and they cool, man. He said, but what else do you do for a living? He's like, well, man, you know, I do this, I do that. He said, okay, the difference is I do music for a living. This is how I eat. And if these hits don't come out right, these records don't come out right, I don't eat. So you gotta paint yourself into a corner to where if your business don't work, you don't eat. You don't survive. That's personally the only way I feel like anybody is gonna make it in their chosen profession. And not only make it, right, but be a factor. You know what I mean? Being that person. I set out, when I came down here in 98, my goal, I knew I had outgrown my city. I knew I was who I was then.
Yeah.
But I said, yo, I want to go down here in Atlanta, because when I came to Atlanta the first time, I wasn't intimidated, but I was inspired. Because I'm like, yo, it's a lot of black business going on. There's a lot of people getting money around here. And what I think is money is no money. I want to be a part of that element. Not only do I want to be a part of that element, I want to be a king in that element. You know what I'm saying? I said that years ago. I never quit. It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. You see what I'm saying? This wasn't overnight.
And I think a lot of people, especially newcomers, they expect it to be overnight because you have a lot of, you know, internet sensations and Instagram famous people. It seemed like it just happened for them right then. But one thing that talking to people, and I'm happy that you just said that, we find out that for a lot of people who are on or making it, it's been in the making for years.
Right.
So how, in the meantime, in those times, because you said for you it's been 20 years, and you mentioned about working and being, what is like your formula? What would you tell them? What do they do to make sure that they stay in the game?
God gave you 2 ears so you can listen twice as much as you talk. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I think that is key. A lot of us talk about what we think we know all the time. And sometimes if you just shut up and let the person who really know in the room talk, you might learn something. You know what I'm saying? And you might have a different perspective. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I always say, put yourself in the room with people that know more than you. If you hang around 9 rich people, who gonna be the 10th? You understand what I'm saying? And it's always keeping that mentality. So my circle, everybody in my circle has a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't have time to just spend frivolously. You know what I'm saying? If we got somewhere we got to go, you got to put yourself in the room with people that are pushing you closer to your goal. Not only like supplying a route for you, but pushing you. You know what I mean? Like I said, with looking with your Instagram, like you push me indirectly. You don't even know it, right?
I had no idea.
But you don't even know like the people you inspire. There are a lot of people that follow you. Why do you think they follow you?
Bro, I promise she got a new picture and a new outfit. So when you said that, that's all that, like, you ain't lying.
Right. You're like, another one? What else do you do? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, if she can do it, I got to be able to do it. I want to be around her. I want to be around people like you. You know what I'm saying? So I won't fall off. So.
And vice versa.
Yeah, bingo.
There we go. Unfortunately, we got to close and get up out of here. Look, that was, look, we should have had you come in at 6 o'clock this morning. We definitely got to have you come back because this was a dope conversation.
No doubt.
So is there anything you want to tell anybody?
You can follow me on all social media at Street Lotto, STREETLOTTO, or at OOOG Brand. That's Triple OG Brand, OOOG Brand. And you can also visit us at the website, OOOGbrand.com. Also, just if you want the background on our story, we shot a documentary that came out at the beginning of last year that's on Amazon Prime, 2-part docuseries, True Story and True Story 2.0. You'll see a picture of me on the front of it. I shot it with my nephew, Jalen Simmons, and it was a 2-man job, but all of the entertainers, the hustling out there, I don't know. I mean, I'm me, man. I'm a whole lot of things. You know what I mean? We can go on for that. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, so that means
That
means it's 7 of
My
them.
daughter is a Gemini. I don't know who I'm talking to from day to day.
I'm gonna tell you this: you could talk to 10 different people and ask them who I am, and they're gonna tell you 10 different things, and they're all 100% correct.
Oh, no, so are you a May Gemini or June Gemini?
June the 10th.
So who we talking
I
to
thought we
today?
were gonna be cool.
Huh? Who we talking to today?
Hey, let's let the conversation flow. You know what I'm saying?
She be so
We'll see
sweet
who it
one day.
is.
She like hug on you, want to watch movies, this and the third. You think you gonna get that the next day? She be like, why you in my face?
I'm
like,
past
wait. Yeah, she passed it. That was so yesterday. Keep up.
So, all right. So take us behind the works of your clothing line.
Triple OG.
Man,
where does the inspiration come from?
I'll be honest with you. So I've always been an artist, right? And one thing I always wanted my whole career was a manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need somebody working while I'm asleep. And I never, ever had that. Mm-hmm. So I had to work and do everything all the time. That's where being that one person that's 10 people helps out, right? And so I had to market myself. And so through marketing myself, and when I came with this brand, I already knew how to market it. All the things were in place. And at the core of it, the brand is me.
Right.
It's the struggle that I've been through since I've been in Atlanta, pursuing a music career and morphing into this. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I've gone through is what a lot of people go through in this town. And I think that's why so many people can relate. You know what I mean? And it translates well. And then, of course, I've had every door in this city shut in my face. But when you got something they want, it's a different conversation. Them doors open back up. And that's how I was able to really get it more widespread, because people see your grind and say, you know what? You stuck with it, you got one. I'm gonna open this door up for you. And I think that's what's helped, us expand that much more.
I mean, I'll just say too, like, I've seen the brand, of course, I know you.
Right.
I've seen the brand, like, even when you're not in the building,
Right.
I've seen it out in the street. So I was just telling, like, even if you didn't know who Street Lotto is, or you'll see the brand, like, now when y'all are going out, you'll see it everywhere.
Right.
So I personally love, like, the tracksuits and stuff. So did you start with, like, give us the process from beginning to end, because I know some people will start with it, and then if stuff doesn't sell within a certain amount of time, they move on to something else. They're not consistent with it. So what did you start with to make you be like, this pop, now I'm gonna add this, now I'm gonna add that?
Two things. Number one, I come from a space to where in life I had opportunities to make a whole lot of money, right? But it wasn't the way that I wanted to make it, right? And after a while, I felt like I was playing myself for doing what I could instead of what I wanted to do, right? Sometimes money can get in the way of your dreams. Right. So what happens is I put myself in a position to where I have to do this to eat. Mm-hmm. So every day I have to come up with something new and fresh, and I got to come up with something that you got to have, not something that you want. We don't really get the things that we want, right, but we'll spend that extra money on something we got to have. True. So that's what my grind is every day of the week, right? So it started out with t-shirts. I made a t-shirt. I made mocks of t-shirts and put them on my website. And somebody saw it and ordered 5 t-shirts. So I was like, wow. So he spent, at that time, my t-shirts were $20. So I took the cap and bought more. But I first posted, somebody bought 5 of these, 1 in each color. That's crazy. I put that on my Instagram and Facebook. I want one too. And that's how it started. So I started my company. I sold it. I made $100. So whatever the change was from that, that's what I started my company with. And it grew. I remember one of the first orders I had, like within 3 weeks, I had a guy buy 60 t-shirts from me. Wow. 60 t-shirts. He's like, you do wholesale deals? Yup, I do.
So the woman figured that out.
He bought 60, right? And I wasn't tripping, because it was like, I can make these today and live to play tomorrow. I done made the cap, and now I got somebody else out there doing that. So over time, so it's been 5.5 years, I've done that deal with several people in different states.